Namaskar, welcome you all to this new session on building resilience. This building resilience session, it is a multi-dimensional approach to disaster management. We will be looking into various aspects of resilience, what can be created in the system. Let us try to understand the basics of resilience. Resilience is the ability of individuals, communities and system to anticipate, withstand, adapt to and recover from the effects of natural and human induced disasters. Why we need to focus on socio-economic resilience? Social resilience ensures cohesive communities capable of collective response, and economic resilience enables financial stability and recovery, reducing dependency on external aid. What are the core areas of resilience? Number one, structural resilience. It protects infrastructure to reduce physical damage during disasters. Second is social resilience, building a strong inclusive social network for collective actions. And the third is economic resilience, establishing diversified livelihoods, robust financial system and insurance mechanism. And last but not the least, the fourth one is environmental resilience, preserving ecosystems that act as natural barriers against disasters. Let us try to understand what resilience is in the matter of disaster management. What resilience makes it essential for the matter of disaster management? Disasters disrupt lives, economies and infrastructure. Resilience mitigates these impacts by ensuring preparedness and recovery. There are certain multidimensional approach, recognizing connected impacts across social, economical, environmental and structural system. How it helps? It reduces vulnerability and ensures sustainable development through proactive and adaptive measures. The goal is to integrate resilience building into all facets of disaster management, creating a safer and more adaptable society. Next one is social resilience. It is a backbone of the community strength. The capacity of communities to adapt to, recover from and thrive despite disasters or crises. The core component of social resilience is community engagement, active participation in preparedness and response, social cohesion, strengthening relationship to foster collective action, inclusivity ensures no one is left behind, especially vulnerable population. How it is creating the impact? Enhance cooperation, reduce disaster impacts and faster recovery. Next one is community empowerment and preparedness. Empowering community, providing knowledge, skills and tools to enable communities to take ownership of disaster risk management. Strengthens local capacity to address risks through context specific solutions. Next is active participation, involvement in disaster risk assessment, planning and drills. What are the key benefits? Tailored solutions based on first hand knowledge, adoption of practices aligned with local needs and traditions. The challenges that they are facing is the limited resources available, unequal participation and lack of technical support. Next point is strengthening social networks, relationships within the communities that provide support, information and resources during the crisis is the social network. The key roles they play: disseminating emergency information swiftly, coordinating relief efforts, pooling resources and offering emotional support. These are the methods to strengthen building community groups, formal and informal group to facilitate cooperation, engaging local leaders, trusted figures as local points for communications, using technology, digital tools to maintain connectivity. The benefits: faster recovery, community trust and resource mobilization. Next one is leveraging cultural and traditional knowledge. Significance of cultural knowledge. Local traditions offer time tested methods to manage the risk effectively. Applications in disaster management. Traditional building techniques. It helps in swift steel houses, in flood prone areas, agricultural practices, use of drought resistant crops and rainwater harvesting, early warning signals, observing animal behavior or seasonal changes. The challenges what they are facing is the loss of traditional knowledge due to modernization and limited integration of the traditional knowledge into the formal disaster management practices being imposed by the policy planners from above. Next is, after social resilience, we are moving on to the economic resilience. This is the ability of economic system to withstand and recover from disruptions. Key components are diversified income services, resilient infrastructure and access to financial mechanism. The importance is it ensures continuity of business and livelihood, reduces economic toll of the disasters and benefit what we get. It protects the vulnerable, empowers small business and enhances self-reliance. Diversification of the livelihoods. Why diversify livelihoods? It reduces dependency on a single income source, mitigating risk of disruptions. The strategy that to follow is to encourage off-farm employment like handicrafts, ecotourism. Number 2 is value addition to agriculture, food processing, branding. Number 3 is promoting skills for emerging sectors like IT and green jobs. Let us share some examples. Agri-tourism in the rural areas, agroforestry combining crops with the trees for income and ecological benefits. Next point is role of microfinance and insurance schemes. Microfinance offers small loans and group lending to empower communities. Various insurance schemes, crop and health insurance act as a protective buffers, but challenges they are facing, there is a gap of awareness, high operational costs and lack of access to remote areas. For example, parametric insurance offers quick payouts in Kenya. Next point to discuss is sustainable economic development. Growth that balances economic, social and environmental needs. The key features are renewable energy adoption, green infrastructure and ultimately inclusive growth. The benefit that they give reduces the risk, enhances adaptability and promotes equitable progress. The policy and governance for the sustainable development. Number 1 is the role of governance, that enabling regulations and incentives for the green initiatives. The key policies that can be followed are number 1 carbon tax, number 2 subsidies for the renewables and number 3 the land use planning. Now the next point that we discuss is challenges in achieving economic resilience. Key challenges that are being faced is balancing growth with environmental protection, financial constraints and culture resistant to change, but still we are having the solutions. Inclusive strategies, financial tools and collaborative programs. Then how to integrate social and economic resilience. The linkages that we can develop, social cohesion supports economic stability, economic growth reduces vulnerability and what is the outcome? Outcome is a stronger recovery frameworks and improved disaster readiness. Then comes role of technology in building resilience. Friends, how technology can enhance the resilience? Advanced technologies like geographical information system GIS, remote sensing RS and artificial intelligence AI enable accurate risk assessment well in advance. They can help early warning system as well. Digital platform that is being created that is helpful in improving the communication and coordination during disasters. What are the key applications? Number 1 is predictive analysis. We use big data for forecasting disasters. Drones can be used for efficiency in disaster assessment search and rescue operation and relief delivery. Mobile applications, they are being used for real time alerts, emergency preparedness and information dissemination. Let us try to understand this with an example. Early warning system in Bangladesh integrating artificial intelligence for cyclone prediction. In India, India's DigiLocker for safe storage of critical documents during crisis. Next point to discuss is urban resilience. How cities are adapting such vulnerabilities against the disasters. Challenges in the urban areas that we face, one is the high population density, inadequate infrastructure and rapid urbanization that increase disaster risks. What are the key strategies for ensuring urban resilience? We have to focus on smart cities that integrates IoT for monitoring and managing urban risks. Focus on green infrastructure, urban parks, green roofs and permeable pavements. Reduce flood risk and urban heat islands. And the third is retrofitting infrastructure. Upgrade older buildings and bridges so that they can withstand disasters in case of heavy flood or earthquake. Let us try to understand through an example. New York's High Line project as a flood resilient green space. Second is Tokyo's earthquake resistant building regulations, and all those two have been very helpful in enhancing resilience of the two cities. Next point to discuss rural resilience, safeguarding livelihood and community. Friends, rural resilience is very vital, and that enhances the system to cope with in case of any disasters. Let us try to understand the unique rural challenge. Dependence on agriculture, limited access to resource and remote locations. Now strategies for the rural resilience. Number 1, agri resilience programs, training farmers in climate smart agriculture, access to financial tools, microfinance and crop insurance tailored for rural needs, community led conservation, protecting water bodies, forests and pastures as being followed in Bihar in the name of Jal Jeevan Haryali, that is creating a wave and evolution. Another example is agroforestry in Kenya for economic and ecological stability. Third example is rainwater harvesting system in Rajasthan desert area. Next point is collaborative approach to building resilience. Friends, why collaboration matters? Disasters impact multiple sectors, requiring collective efforts across stakeholders. Those stakeholders are governments, NGOs, private sectors and local communities. There are certain successful models of collaboration, joint ventures for resilient infrastructure, and we are having the international aid available for cross-border assistance and knowledge sharing. UNDP plays a vital role in the capacity building. Then there is a community-based initiatives, local groups leading disaster preparedness programs. Outcome is the reduced duplication of efforts and improved resource allocation, developing the resilience. Role of financing in resilience building. Importance of resilient financing. It ensures availability of funds for preparedness, response and recovery. Mechanism that to follow is the disaster risk financing. Pre-arranged funds like catastrophic bonds and emergency funds, microfinance schemes. Examples are Colombia's use of catastrophic bonds to manage earthquake risks, India's Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, crop insurance scheme, both are helping the rural livelihood, developing resilience and monitoring and evaluation of the resilience initiatives. Why monitoring is vital? It evaluates effectiveness of resilience programs and identifies gaps for further improvement. There are various steps to follow in case of monitoring, such as baseline assessment, number 2 regular updates, number 3 community feedback. The tools that are being used are dashboards, KPIs. KPIs full form is key performance initiatives, key performance indicators, and real time analytics for disaster response. Participatory monitoring involving community led evaluations. Addressing challenges in resilience building. The challenge that we need to address is the funding constraints. Number 2 is the coordination issues. Number 3 is resistance to change. And what are the solutions that we are having? Number 1 is the policy reforms, enabling frameworks for better governance and resource mobilization. Number 2 is awareness campaign, educating communities on the importance of resilience. And number 3 is innovative financing like crowdfunding and public private partnerships. Then capacity building plays a vital role in resilience. It empowers individuals and organizations to effectively manage the risks. The key focus areas are training programs, knowledge sharing, and the third is resource development. The examples are Bangladesh training for community based cyclone shelters. Second, United Nations and DIVE framework for disaster risk reduction programs. And next topic to discuss is integrating environmental sustainability in resilience. Number 1, environmental role in resilience. The healthy ecosystem acts as a buffer, reducing disaster impacts. The strategy that to follow is ecosystem based approach, conservation practices to be followed. Third is sustainable resource management, and certain examples. Philippines mangrove restoration has reduced the storm surge. Bhutan's carbon neutral development policies has created impact in the country. Next is innovation and technology for future resilience. AI and machine learning, they are helping in predicting and modeling disasters. Blockchain, transparent and efficient disaster aid distribution. IoT devices help in real time data collection for early warning systems. What are the future trends? Future trends focus on climate resilient urban planning and infrastructure, scaling up renewable energy for economic and environmental resilience. The examples are Netherlands use of smart dikes for flood management, India's solar energy corridors for sustainable growth. And what is the way forward? Way forward is integrated approach, combines social, economic and environmental strategies for holistic resilience. The key priorities that have to be given is promoting inclusive policies and encourage local participation, scaling up successful resilience models and adapt to emerging risks. The focus areas for that is strengthening disaster financing, enhance capacity building and leverage technology. Now the things to remember at the end of the discussion is social resilience fosters community strength and cohesion, economic resilience secures livelihood through diversification and financing tools, technological and environmental strategies reinforce preparedness and adaptability. And we are going to close the discussion with a thought that building resilience is a shared responsibility, combining policy, innovation and community efforts for a sustainable and secure future. With this, I am going to close the discussion. Thank you very much for joining with us. Meet you next. Thank you. Namaskar.